Hello and welcome to another edition of Paydirt Remote. I'm Michael Washbourne and today I'm joined by MD CEO MIke Spreadborough. Mike, welcome.
Welcome, Michael. Good to catch up.
Mike, you've been at MD for a couple of months now, initially as COO and now as CEO. Tell us about your whirlwind introduction to the company.
Well, MD, I think, is a very exciting company. It's got great assets, nickel, tin and copper. So it covers the assets across the high technology fields where we're seeing, the markets and future growth. And those assets are quite sizable. And I think people forget the size of those assets and the potential for them to grow and for us to develop shareholder value. The other thing that is exciting about MD is we've got a new board, very experienced, very wealthy in wisdom. And combined with that, the executive team, we really are focused on growing the business and bringing shareholder value back to our shareholders.
Well, we might start with the tin division, Mike. Renison's been a project that has been in the MD portfolio for many, many years. Tell us about the recent March quarter results and milestones that you ticked off during those 3-month reporting period.
Yeah, so it was a good quarter for Renison, 5% lift in tin production. Importantly, that performance maintains our guidance of between 7,100 and 7,300 tonnes of tin in concentrate for the year, which is great. I think the other really important message out of the quarter is, despite all the impacts we're seeing around the world with COVID-19, Renison wasn't impacted at all by either sickness on site or people logistics. Concentrate delivery to our customers were all very, very good. And kind of in the backdrop of that, tin has softened a little bit in pricing, but it hasn't been a major downturn. And we're starting to see improvements in metallurgical performance and the recovery lift, which is fantastic news.
Renison, as I said, has been in the company for quite a number of years, but perhaps more in recent times. It hasn't been the flagship asset of the company. That seems to be perhaps changing a little bit under your leadership.
If you look at the history of Renison, it's been a good, solid, consistent performer for MD. We own 50% of the joint venture. It's got a long-term prospects in terms of mine life. At the moment, the mine life is over 7 years. And as you read in the quarterly, we're doing more work on Area 5 and other exploration. So maybe that mine life will grow. But it has been a consistent performer, delivers cash flow to the business. And it is, in terms of tin assets around the world, a quality tin producer. The concentrate is well sought after. We don't have any dramas selling our concentrate through Malaysia and Thailand. So I think it's been a great asset for MD and will continue to be so going forward. Obviously, we need to keep on top of the COVID-19 aspects and maintain production performance. But as I said before, we really are supported by our smelters who are continuing to take concentrate. So that's a positive, and we'll keep that operational focus going forwards. The metallurgical improvement program that I talked about before will continue to implement new technology and equipment in the plant. So we should see a lift in recovery as we move forwards for the year. But more importantly, the big news is the work on the Area 5, the new high-grade portion at the bottom of the mine. The study for that is due in the June quarter. With that, we'll also have a new life of mine plan. So that really brings a higher grade blend into the Renison mix. So you'll see some of that high-grade material kick in towards the back end of this calendar year.
And if we'll switch over to Western Australia now, and you put the operations at Nifty on care and maintenance towards the end of the year, and now you're undertaking a strategic review of the copper operations in general. What's the update on both the mine and the copper division in MD?
So in December, we announced a copper strategic review process. That's on schedule to be delivered in the June quarter. We're looking at all of the options, how we can get this copper asset to deliver value for shareholders. Nifty as a mine itself has over 600,000 tonnes of copper in the resource, and the Maroochydore project has over 400,000 tonnes of copper. And then surrounding that is a large suite of tenements which are highly prospective. Our focus really is to look forward and options for us to be able to grow value for the shareholders. We're looking at everything from total sales through joint ventures to us taking it on board and restarting some of the businesses. That announcement in June will really be important because that will give them a flavour of how we can take MD going forwards, given that last year was a pretty tough year.
And sticking with the base metals theme in Western Australia, a lot of people might also forget that Metals X has the Wingellina nickel project. What are some of the ideas and plans you have in place for that particular asset?
Wingellina has had very little work done since 2008 when the DFS was done. The DFS really confirmed that it was a high quality nickel cobalt asset, and obviously the world needs nickel. So I still see Wingellina as an important part of Metal X. We do need to do more work to come up with a proven development strategy. So we will need a partner, and that'll be part of the work that we do going forwards for the rest of the year. And the recent announcement just reaffirmed that there is a higher grade portion in the deposit, and that might allow us to start mining there earlier and bring on additional cash flow.
What sorts of options do you think are on the table other than just perhaps a strategic partner?
I think it's a very good time in the market to go looking for partnerships. Nickel will continue to be a big element as we go forwards in the battery market. The world's going to be short of nickel. Wingellina, with its high grade, really comes out as one of those early options that have been brought to the market. So good opportunity. Just watch this space as we come up with a great development profile for Wingellina.
And finally, Mike, what is your message to Metals X shareholders about the company you and new chairman Patrick O'Connor are trying to create for shareholders?
So our focus right now is how do we take the tin, the nickel and the copper assets and turn them into value for our shareholders.
Definitely going to keep you busy for sure. Thanks again for joining us today, Mike, and look forward to chatting to you again soon in the future.
No worries, Michael.